So hi everyone. So we are dealing with renal pathology, and I hope you can you guess the answer for this picture. What this picture is actually, it is an electron microscopy, and it is showing a dome and spike appearance. So here you can see certain dome like this. So in between you can see some spikes. So this is actually having a dome and spike appearance, and this is seen in membranous glomerulonephropathy. So let us see what is actually responsible for causing this kind of appearance. So first of all, we know the glomerular capillaries. So there will be some endothelial cells. So what you have seen, this is actually the basement membrane. This one is the outer basement membrane. This is the inner basement membrane, and these cells, these are the endothelial cells. Now you will have the visceral epithelial cells. That is podocytes. Now you have the parietal epithelial cells. So this is the Bowman's capsule, and here this is parietal epithelial cells. Okay. Now extraglomerular matrix, that is the mesangial matrix. So here it is the mesangial matrix, and here you can get some macrophages, that is mesangial cells. Mesangial cells. So here in case of this membranous glomerulonephropathy, you can get some immune complex deposition, that means antigen antibody. So here the antigen can be some kind of receptors like phospholipase A2 receptors and THD7A. So this is very important to remember, that is PLPA2 receptors, THD7A. So there will be some receptors like this. They will be the antigen. Now antibody will come against this. They will form some immune complexes. So immune complexes formed like this. So that is giving rise to this dome. This immune complexes is actually the dome. Now in between you got some basement membrane like this. So that will be the spike. So you get something like this. This is a spike is actually due to the basement membrane. Dome is actually due to the immune complex. So as a total, it is a spike and dome, or dome and spike appearance that you get in membranous glomerulonephropathy. It is very important to remember this receptor's name, PLPA2 receptor and THSG7A. THSG7A. Yes. Okay. And one more thing to remember is that, so as a total, the basement membrane can get thickened, but there will be no rupture here. There will be no rupture. Basement membrane can get thickened, but there will be no rupture. Rupturing is actually seen in RPGN, not here. Okay, then and what is another important thing to remember about membranous glomerulonephropathy? It is related to malignancy. So here you can get, this is the glomerular lesion which is mostly associated with malignancy. and you get increased risk of malignancy with this THS-D7A. And also related to this THS-D7A, you have to remember neonatal nephropathy, membranous nephropathy. Neonatal membranous nephropathy also you have to remember. So this PLPA2 receptors, THS-D7A, so they are the antigens against that antibodies will be there, so they can be used to assess the severity of the disease. Okay, that means as when it is more active, when the disease is more active, you will get a lot of antibodies against them. So that can be used to test the severity of this disease. So that's what I am writing here. It is proportional to the severity of the disease. Okay, so that is about this membranous glomerulonephropathy, and I hope the concept was clear about DOM and spike appearance. In membranous glomerulonephropathy, the deposits you see, it is subepithelial deposits. So here we have the visceral epithelial cells. So the deposits will be just below that, and that is subepithelial deposits. So that is you see in membranous glomerulonephropathy. Subepithelial deposits. Okay, now we will be discussing the subepithelial deposit is also seen in another disease, that is post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. In both conditions, one is MGN, membranous glomerulonephropathy, and also in post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. So the picture which we have discussed at first, this is about electron microscopy. In electron microscopy, you get this DOM and spike appearance. Now, when you get a question like DOM and spike or spike and DOM appearance is best seen by, so the answer will be in light microscopy. When the question is just like where you can get best representation of this spike and DOM appearance, so the answer is light microscopy, and that is given here. Light microscopy, when you do some special stains like PAS or a silver stain, so in this you can get best, you can see spike and DOM appearance. Okay, so here you can see in this picture. Now this is what we have said, post streptococcal glomerulonephritis, and here also we are getting subepithelial deposits. Here the characteristic you can find this is subepithelial hump, so you can see hump sign in post streptococcal glomerulonephritis. Now when you look at the immunofluorescence, we already find that it is about the immune complex, because we have seen here immune complex deposition that is giving rise to the DOM. So whenever there is immune complex, we know the immunofluorescence will be granular. So granular immunofluorescence is observed in both these MGN and PSGN. So here granular immunofluorescence is actually due to the immune complexes. Okay, so the other case where you get this granular immunofluorescence other than this MGN and PSGN, you also get in MPGN. So in immune complexes, actually that means you get antigen, you get antibody, also you can get some complements. Okay, so that is immune complex, and that can give rise to granular immunofluorescence.